All right, I'm Red Beard the Hippy here with Lucas from Torn Asunder doing a Q&A, question answer interview vibe, whatever the hell we go from here. So, Torn Asunder is based out of St. Joe, Missouri, not Kansas City, which people, it's a Kansas City suburb type thing, Kansas City area. So, we're just going to kind of see where the questions go on this and where we go from there. How long have you been with Torn Asunder?
Here in March will be my 2 year mark.
All right. Did you end up playing the Flint Hell? What was it? Flint Hills Metal Fest
Yes, I did.
with
I
them?
was a drummer then. Yep. Been with them for 2 years, still going strong. So
Because I ended up interviewing you guys at that concert.
yeah, a lot has changed since that concert.
Well, because you guys put the music video out,
Hmm.
which him adding that singing style to it, where he had more clean vocals, and it just added this whole other level of music to you guys.
Yeah. Uh, it's a funny opinion. Doug and John. John's our vocalist and Doug is our guitarist. Um, well, we call Doug the Duggernaut because he writes all the music. I just transcribe what he wants me to do in drums. But it's funny because I see our first album as kind of a demo, and because now on the album my drumming it was very structured, and we're already writing two new singles for album two, and I looked back at album one. I'm like, I was very structured. I want to be able to let loose on album two, so we kind of got our song structure ready for album two. As Doug would say, album two is gonna murder people. It's that heavy.
Oh, I like that heavy stuff. So that'll definitely be something worthwhile checking out. Not saying
But
you guys aren't like soft rock or anything like that.
oh no, I know what I they John and Doug say confusing genre, but we blend a lot of styles together. Well, I don't know, we don't exactly fit into one genre.
I could go with that, but like for instance, we'll just kind of go with you on this because those guys aren't here because they're not wanting
Yeah.
to be part of it. We figured we'd just do a Q&A. So, what are some of your drummer influences? Like,
Uh, the first drummer that comes to mind, the first one that got me even into double bass stuff was Jimmy the Rev Sullivan from Avenged Sevenfold. Um, I remember, oh, what was it? I was in elementary, I think. Yeah, I was in elementary. It was 2010. The video for Nightmare came out, and I was like, "Oh, this is a good song." And his signature like triple bass drum kit was at the end of the music video as like a memoriam thing. I'm like, I need to find out who that drummer that because that's a badass kit. And so I started doing my research, and I started finding all these older songs with the Rev on it. I'm like, oh my god, this is good.
yeah,
And then
he's a phenomenal or was a phenomenal drummer.
yeah, and now I tag along the lines of like Joey Jordison, um, Jay Weinberg, which that's a huge debate I don't like to talk about. People are like, Joey's better, Jay Weinberg's better. It's like, for my sake, I think people are going to hate me. I don't care. Joey was the best because he had that human feel to it. But
I
besides
think
the point,
I think Jay brought his own element to the writing process or the
yeah.
playing process.
And not only that, I just like the OG Slipknot lineup. Doug has gotten me into like a lot of the older stuff, like Iowa, Volume Three, All Hope Is Gone, stuff like that. Oh my god!
Their first one where it was just the numbers on it with
Oh
that
yeah,
album was brutal, and then Iowa came out. I ended up skipping school on lunch to go get Iowa. So
me and Doug have a very funny story. We say that Iowa's like the most darkest period of that time because that's what Slipknot says. And you have Volume 3, which has like brutal riffs and everything. And then All Hope Is Gone is like Iowa and Volume 3 had a kid. Kind of. Because you still
Yeah,
have the brutalness from the darkness of those times, but you still have like the brutal ass riffs like Gematria, All Hope Is Gone, Vendetta, and stuff like that. Oh my God, Vendetta.
yeah. They once you said that, that does make sense. I can't really disagree with it. I know Volume
But,
3 was one of those albums that it took a while to get into for me.
yeah, I'll say, obviously, because I knew of Before I Forget because of Guitar Hero 3, and I think it was Before I Forget was on there.
Ah,
Yeah,
hell, I don't know.
I think it was. And I'm like, oh, this is a cool song. And then Doug's like, here, check out this one. So the next one he told me to check out was, 3-0.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just starting off with that blast beat, I'm like, oh yeah, they came to murder people.
Oh, yeah. So we got any other ones that come to mind that help create your influence, or are those two pretty much the
I'd say Joey right now is my main influence, but more influences include like Danny Carey. Who else? The current drummer for Shadow of Intent, Bryce Butler, I think his name is.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't think I've heard that one yet. So
I'll say, and then I think that's really it. Well, the drummer for Sleep Token is pretty good too.
can't argue. He's got one of those interesting styles, but
Yeah.
it fits with the music very well.
Oh yeah.
And that I think is one of the drummers' probably most important thing is making sure everything flows together.
Oh yeah.
Because if the drummer's off doing his own thing or her own thing, and it makes no sense with what the music's going.
Yeah, I totally get that because I'm still like, for example, what would be a good song? The Vor. It's just like you have Vor, and then you have like Take Me Back to Eden with this weird like feel to it, but still fits with the music.
Yeah, because I think the Tool drummer, there was so many little added things that he'd put in there. I
Yeah,
can't think of his name.
Danny Carey.
Yeah, and he just like there's so many little fills or little different things that he'd do that just added to the song, and I think that's one thing that the drummer brings to the table.
Yeah, is having that own signature like feel and style.
And let's see. Obviously, the Rev got you into drumming, from what you
Yeah.
were saying.
Yep.
Uh, what is the one downfall of being a drummer?
Boy, let me tell you what. Lugging your own gear everywhere. Right now, I have an 8-piece double bass kit that's kind of similar to the one on when you watch the Disaster Pieces video for Slipknot. Not the music video, but the DVD. It's kind of similar to that setup. So it's like an 8-piece and all these symbols. And I'm saying like, I don't have a rack. Everything's on a stand. So I'm saying I have to lug this into venues, play, lug it back out, pack it up, take it back home, set it back up at home, and then take it to practice.
That was kind of the answer I was figuring you were gonna go with,
Yeah,
because I know anybody that's been in a band, because it's always the drums, because it takes forever to load everything in, because you can only carry so much shit at one time, and there's
yeah,
always that one bass cab that weighs like 500 fucking pounds.
yeah. And right now we don't have a bass player. Unfortunately, we had to part ways with our current bassist. But um, I'll just say that there's some stuff in the works for Torn Asunder this year.
Well, I'll be looking forward to it. I know, like with the Kansas City area, it's always got stuff going on and such a wide uh music selection down in that area.
Oh yeah,
Because like I know, see, what is it, like 1,000 Foot Wide? Tetrafuse is from that area.
yeah.
Rescue.
Studio guys band Gourmand, I think. is from the KC area.
I got another friend from Rescue the Crows is in that area. He's working on doing some stuff,
Yeah.
but like just
Well,
with the stuff that I've heard from there, it's so eclectic. What is the challenge of getting shows put together? Do you guys pick and choose to make sure it's
um,
style orientated, or are you just like, dude, that's a cool fucking lineup. We got to get on that one.
this year we're taking it different. But last year it was just to get our name out there, so we took any show that we could. And this year we're just kind of, I hate to bust the fans' balls, but we're not doing much shows this year because we have so much planned. And one of the talks, hopefully, not supposed to say this, but I'm going to say anyways, we might have a tour booked this year. I don't know yet. We're waiting on confirmation.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, this year we're just really taking it very slow this time because like I said, we're recording 2 new singles for album 2, and it's just, yeah, it's going to be a big year. Then next year is when we're supposed to go in for album 2.
So that'd be 2025.
Is when album 2 starts recording. Yes.
Okay. Had to make sure and double check with what year we're actually in. Seeing
Yeah,
how it's all.
at work, I keep trying to write 23. It's like, nope, it's 24.
I don't even write anything anymore. I'm just like, well, you get the day and the month. That's about the extent of what you're getting
Yeah,
anymore.
you don't get the year anymore. I'm not keeping count.
I have no idea what year we're in. Are you sure? Hell, I don't know.
Yeah, for all I know, it's 1989.
God, I hope not. Well, hang on. Let me rephrase that. For the price of all the goods and fuel price and the economy wise, if I'm making the kind of money I am now and being able to do that, I might be okay.
It might be okay.
That I could actually afford to do some shit and not be like, all
No
right,
kidding.
I'm broke again. Didn't you just get paid today? Yeah, well, Uncle
Bills.
Sam. Yeah,
Uncle Sam had other plans.
apparently you got to pay your utility bill. Who knew? But yeah. So what are some of the bands that you've had? Uh, some of your favorite bands in the local area that you've been able to get on shows with.
Um, I have yet to get on a show with these guys, but I love them because my buddy's in the band and all of that. I've seen him live multiple times. Almost Enemies from St. Joseph is a good one. There was one, I can't remember the venue. It's in Kansas City. They were a band. I think they haven't announced it yet, but they broke up because of college. But the Zodiacs were a great band.
I think I've actually seen them on a show flyer from time to time from that area.
Yeah. Another one, my friend Jesse's band. Um, they just changed the name, but originally it was called Glory Kill, and I think it's now called God Talk.
I hate it when you got friends that are like, okay, so when you guys actually, oh, well, we're not with that band anymore. But you guys are all still doing practice together. Yeah, we changed the name. So we're not technically with that band anymore. We're with this one. God
And he's
damn
like,
it.
okay.
And then trying to find them on
Another
social media and to see what they got going on and they changed it. Nobody knows.
style.
Oh, hang on. We got some technical difficulties going on here.
Yeah, that is my bad. But Caleb Chronic, even though I'm not from
Oh,
this area, Dead
those guys are
Reckoning.
good.
Oh yeah, Caleb Chronic. I love Caleb Chronic. Dead Reckoning. They're not from this part of Midwest, but even then, they're still a killer band. Trying to think of who else. I can't really think of anybody else.
That's the downfall
Like
of being
there's so
put.
many bands we played for that I just forget. Oh, Dreams in Peril is another good one.
Oh, yeah.
And Born in Ruin. I think we played with them before. Maybe.
That name sounds familiar.
I know it's a name out there, but I can't remember if we played with them.
That's the one. That's probably one of the biggest downfalls about being in a band. Have you seen this band? Maybe. You did a show with them last week.
Maybe there's like a roster that you collect over the years of how many bands you played with.
Oh yeah, and especially for like with going to shows and doing videos and photos. Like people will go, "Have you seen this band?" Hang on. What do you mean, hang on? Let me search this in my videos. And nope, I have not seen that band, but they do have a show coming up Friday. And people are like, "How do you keep all this stuff straight?" Whole lot of notebooks written down.
Yep.
Because let's see the bands. Because that's also another thing too with like the area bands that there's always those bands that you play with regularly or you've done a few shows with, and there's always those bands that you're like, dude, I really want to get on a show with them. Or
Yeah.
because I notice anymore with like shows, it's not areas aren't so much as uh cliquish as they used to be. Like I
Yeah.
know Manhattan used to be like you had to be extreme death metal, and if you weren't an extreme death metal band, trying to get in there was fucking impossible. Or like Wichita or
Yeah.
Kansas City, still a little. They're a little cliquish from what I'm seeing, but they're not as bad as they used to be.
Yeah.
Like they're more keen with the idea of bringing in bands, but it's also like a trading show type thing of, okay, we'll get you on this venue with us, but we need to get a venue or on a bill with you guys at this venue because we're trying to get in there,
Yeah.
and like trading shows and doing things like that. Oh, let's see, what else do we got to ask? What kind of gear do you
Uh,
use?
so right now, all my drums, besides my snare drum, but I love that snare drum to death. I can't let go of it. My main part of the kit, all my drums are PDP, all maple, and I love the maple because it has the low end that I crave. Because here's the thing, a lot of metal drums like I like the high end toms. I need the thud. I need it. So, granted, sometimes you need the higher tune toms, but like I'm saying, like I still need that thud from the 16 and 18,
Oh yeah.
And my snares are Yamaha, which is weird because I try to keep all my drums the same. My cymbals and hardware, different story, but um, my snare drums are Yamaha. It's like a 13 by 3.5, maybe 4 piccolo. And I just tuned it just right to get like that Iowa snare sound because
Oh okay.
I love the Iowa sound so much. And let me see if I can remember my cymbals from left to right. My main hi-hats are Sabian HHX Evolution hi-hats, 14s. I call this my accent crash on my left because I don't really use it as a main crash. It's an 18-inch. I just got it. I just got all these, sorry. 18-inch K Custom Dark Zildjian crash. And then in the middle, I have a 10-inch pasty or pasty. I can't remember how to say it exactly. It's a 10-inch metal splash by the Alpha series. And it's a Meinl 8-inch HCS bell as my accent bell. Then another 19-inch K Custom Dark Zildjian crash. And then my hi-hats on my right are it's a weird combo. I mixed the hi-hats on this one. So the top is a Zildjian 8 Custom top, and the bottom is a Dream Contact, I think, bottom hi-hat. And it's kind of a weird effect, but I mainly use it just to blast and do fast stuff on. My China is a Sabian AAX Extreme 19-inch China. My far right crash would be my 20-inch K Custom Dark Zildjian crash. And the ride is a funny story about my ride cymbal. I don't know what series it is. I know it's Pi-C. It's a 20-inch. It's a very heavy ride, so it's got more ping. I can't crash on it. But I got at my local music store because I was trading in cymbals. Like, here, just take this, me. All right. So I tried to do research on it. Nothing was coming up. And it got to the point I posted on my local drum forums like, "Hey, I need help identifying this." Nobody wanted to tell me what it was. They just wanted to buy it. I'm like, "No, I'm not selling it because I like the sound of it." And
that's
I,
that's when you know it's a good symbol, and people are like,
yeah,
"I'm not telling you what it is, but we want it."
yeah. And then all my drum heads are Evans. I don't endorse anybody, but I live by Evans drum heads.
Well, I've
Yeah,
noticed like with different instrument people, they're like, I only use this kind, or I only use this kind, or I like this one because it's got a better feel to it, or a better sound, or it gets
yeah,
that low end I'm looking for, or because that's always something kind of interesting of how somebody builds their kit. Because I know
yeah.
I've got friends that are drummers, and it's like none of the stuff matches, and then I've got other friends that everything matches, everything's uniform, everything's all the same, like all the symbols are the same, the rack
Yeah.
setup.
I'll say for me, drum wise, I have to have the same sound. Um, but my cymbals vary because I hit pretty hard, and I don't hold back when I perform. And I've gone through so many cymbals that I don't know how much I've gone through. But um, usually my cymbal sound will change depending on if I crack a cymbal because I like to keep. It's weird because my effect cymbals, my hi hats, I search for a specific sound. But with my crashes, I just need something that will get me through it.
Yeah,
But I prefer because there's so many different alloys you can use for your crash cymbals. I prefer like B20 or B8 bronze because brass cymbals they just sound puny. You don't get that full effect with it. It just you hit it, it's very silent, and then it fades out immediately.
they don't fit well with the sound that you're going for.
Exactly. So the only time I'll use B8 cymbals is well, obviously the Peisty Alpha Splash, but I like the Peisty Rude series. That's what Joey Jordison used. I think it's pretty much all throughout his time for Slipknot, except the self-titled era. I think.
That's because they were all broke as shit and they had to buy their own stuff.
Yeah, I was saying the self-titled is like what he had to make sure he had something that night, and then during Iowa is when I assume he got his endorsement deal. So he's like, okay, I can do whatever.
Yeah, but like it's that like that's the funny thing. Like uh certain drummers, like doesn't matter where what they're being endorsed by, their sound doesn't change whatsoever because
Exactly.
they're like, this is the sound I need, this is the sound I want. So give me what you've got to get this sound.
Oh yeah,
And I've
but
noticed drummers are very particular on what their sound sounds like, but guitars are the same way where they got to have that certain effect, or vocalists have
yeah,
to have that mic that they can hold just right so they can get that low end without destroying their vocal cords.
yeah. But I'm pretty sure that covers all my drum needs. My hardware is an amalgamation of Tama, PDP, and DW. The only thing that's not a signature brand on my drum kit, people are gonna laugh at me for this. I don't care. I love them. My beaters on my bass drum pedals are from Timu. And as much as people are gonna laugh at me saying that, believe it or not, these bass drum beaters are amazing. I'll have to get a picture posted at some point. But they're
Do they
so
hold up
lightweight.
well?
Yeah, no, they're so lightweight with my technique. I have a weird technique. But when I do fast stuff, it actually gives me more volume instead of having to force it down more with these heavy beaters, you
Oh,
know?
so it's kind of it has that like that feel from it where it's like a trigger where it doesn't actually have to fully hit the thing or the
Yeah, but I don't use triggers.
but it doesn't have that trigger
Yeah,
feel to it.
yeah. And
Like
people are like, why
it
don't
still gives
you?
you that good full sound, but you're not over there just
Yeah, walloping the drum head. But, and people are going to ask me, like, why don't you use triggers? Me, I just don't see a need for triggers, you know? If I have a specific drum sound, why do I want to mask it with a trigger?
well, triggers like depending on the band and what you're doing, I get, but that's also where it comes down to everybody's personal preference.
Yeah, I'll say my personal preference is I don't like triggers. Granted, I've debated on using triggers before, but only because Doug likes to write drum parts that like have 30 seconds notes that go really fast.
Oh
And
yeah.
I look at Doug, it's like, I'm not playing that. And he's like, yes, you are. I'm like, you want to bet?
My feet don't
But
move that fucking fast.
I told him that. And when we originally wrote Monarchs, he had for the breakdown, it goes like 30-second notes, but I couldn't do that. So I looked at it, I was like, how's this sound? So I went, no, it's not 30-second, but it's not exactly 16th, I think. I don't know how to explain it. I don't take music theory. I never learned music theory. I never learned how to read sheet music. So,
That sounds right. I like that sound, so that's what we're going with.
but it's not as fast, but I can still keep up with it, you know?
There's also that thing too, like not everything always has to be fast to have that brutal. And the only
Yeah.
reason I use the quotation marks is because some people are like, "Dude, that's brutal," because it's doing like on the
Yeah, it's like
kick
one
drum.
solid note.
But then there's where they've got like three beaters on it with a dual foot pedal. Like I saw that
Yeah.
one. There's that drummer guy on Facebook that always pops up on my feed where they've got like a triple kick, and it's like, dude, that just sounds too insane. But you
Yeah.
can still have that brutal stuff where it's not as fast or not as heavy. It's just got that really cool. Like Pantera wasn't overly complicated on some of their stuff wasn't overly complicated on the drums, but it just
Yeah.
had that feel to it where you're like, dude, that's
Yeah.
fucking heavy.
The ending of Domination, just simple. Simple, 2 and 4. But yeah, it still had the grooviness. And you're like, oh.
And it's got that heaviness to it where you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go fuck somebody up in the pit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Uh,
that's always the thing where everybody's like, oh, I gotta go faster, I gotta go heavier. It's like, why? Sometimes simplifying makes that added point to it where it makes it that much heavier,
exactly.
or those breakdowns that much more insane because it's not just like, yeah, where you're just and it's like
Like,
it's like, oh, okay, I can get into this one.
yeah. Like, my advice for drummers is if you can make something, if you want to be brutal and fast, go ahead, be all about it. But if you have a simple rhythm on the guitar and you want to go fast, it's not gonna mesh well.
True.
Because then you have this guitarist playing this simple riff. Meanwhile, you just have this drummer overcomplicating it, and then next thing you know, people are like that's too much on the drums. They need to get a different drummer.
It's like, okay, Joey Jordison, and you have a drummer or a guitar player like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah,
Like
they
it's
ain't gonna mesh. It's two different styles, and only that it's simple. And then you have Joey Jordison.
who's yeah, like one of the most insane fills and like just an insane drummer. I mean,
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see where that would go.
that would.
But at the same point in time, there's certain things where it's like, look, you're overcomplicating it. You're
Yeah,
overdoing it. It's going to get muddled and be lost in the translation of everything. Plus, I can't
yeah.
play that fast fucking live on our seventh song. My legs are gonna be shot by then if you want me to do it.
Exactly. And another piece of advice is it's the same thing. If you're all about fast, go for it. But play what you think would go better with the music.
That's that's good advice. Okay. For speaking of some of that stuff, how do you prep for a show? Is there like, do you just set up and go, or is there any stretching?
I'm weird. So when we played Flint Hills Metal Fest, I was not big on like doing mask stuff, but after our first album recording, I started doing a lot of stuff with makeup. So my first step to do is makeup, and after that, I obviously let dry by stretch. I go to the bath, I usually go in front of a mirror somewhere, take a few deep breaths so that way I get my anxiety off. And then as soon as I'm about to get on stage, I can't remember who said it from Slipknot, somebody did. But if as soon as they hit that stage, they're not that person that they are outside of that costume.
I fully get you. You flip that switch.
Yeah, I'm someone. So it's weird because on stage now you'll see me like bashing my head between breakdowns and shit, and I'm pretty much this person I don't like. I'm this person on stage that I hate people seeing and I don't want people to see. But yeah, I'm out here on stage bashing my head and scratching at my skin,
It
putting
it
on a show.
it's part of the theatrics, but it also lets you get those demons out to play so they don't affect the
Exactly.
other part of your life. Because
Exactly.
I did vocals for a long time, and it's funny because I act this way, or like in my podcast I'm goofing around, but
Yeah.
I had friends that would see me for the first time on stage and they're like, dude, you are not the same guy when you get up there. You're angry and controlling and all these different things, and it's a way to
Yeah.
get those out so it doesn't affect the other aspects of life.
Yeah. But yeah, my first step all the time is makeup.
Uh-oh, we're gonna get canceled now because you said makeup and you're a guy. As you can tell, I like to joke around with things that just are funny to me.
Hey, to be fair, I live not far from a church.
You live in Kansas City. I think there's like a church like every 5 blocks or something like that.
Yeah, especially in this ballpark.
That's especially like in the Midwest. It's like I live by a church. Dude, you live out in the middle of nowhere. Of course you live by a church.
They probably live by a church and then a Dollar General.
It's Casey's. Get it right.
True.
It's not the point. Going home, you're making fun of me. And
But
that's one thing that anybody from the Midwest knows that any
if
area
you're if you're in the middle of nowhere, you will always find a Casey's or a church
or a Dollar General.
or that.
Like
Nothing in between. No Walmart, just Dollar General, Casey's, church.
And depending on the area of the town and the size of the town, you might actually find a non-supercenter
Yeah.
Walmart.
Yeah, like the neighborhood market Walmarts.
Well, I know there's one town that I'll drive through that it has a Walmart. I walked in one time. I'm like, this is little.
Looks big from the outside. You go, it's like, wait a minute. Where'd the rest of the store go?
It's like half of a super Walmart. This does not make sense. Okay. How often do you usually go through like drumsticks then?
Recently I found a decent pair that actually holds up. Actually two pairs, because one of them is made out of aluminum, even though that's bad for my cymbals, but oh well. The pair I used to go through was I would just go to the guitar center and they have these bags of sticks that are just unmarked and they're cheap brands. And I just go buy those and stock up on those. And now there's two pairs I use. One I gotta fix the other one I have. But ProMark 747s, they're the near Piat signatures, but they're made of this Shirakashi oak, and it holds up really, really well. It's gotten to the point where the stick won't break, but instead of the tip being like that, it would be like half the size, but yet
Oh
I'd
yeah.
still play on it. And then the company Ahead makes these drumsticks made out of aluminum. They have different artist series. The ones I use right now are Lars Ulrich, but
He's still a good drummer.
yes, I'll say he. As much as people hate on Lars, he is another influence of mine because I wouldn't be getting into drumming without Lars.
I think there's like a handful of those guys from that era that you may not like, but you just kind of go, you know what? If it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't be listening to this stuff, or I wouldn't be hearing these
Exactly.
kind of riffs.
But I'm gonna try to upgrade to the Joy Jordison signature sticks because apparently they're a lot lighter than Laws. And I feel like I kind of need that because Laws is kind of breaking my wrist over here while I'm trying to blast beat.
Which is weird because you said aluminum sticks, which I work in fabrication and I know aluminum is a soft metal, and brass is
Yeah,
also a really soft metal, but it can hold up really well.
yeah. The thing they do with their sticks is so the aluminum is covered by this. It's almost like not plastic. Some call it sort of material. I think it's like a plastic nylon or something. But
Oh,
the
okay.
aluminum is covered by that, and then you put this plastic thing on, and then you screw on the tip really hard, and then you have a brand new drumstick. That's how they replace the drumsticks. Once the tapper or whatever you want to call it is broken or too damaged, you take it off, heat up a new pair, put it back on, let it cool, and screw it back on. So
Huh.
pretty much you have one pair of drumsticks that last you in an eternity.
Oh, I bet. So you're just basically replacing the head of the drumstick, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much every time, and every time you still get a whole new stick out of it.
Bet that's probably a little bit cheaper than going and buying sticks all the time.
A lot cheaper. Having to buy multiple pairs of sticks. Meanwhile, I can just save like $5 on this pair by buying multiple covers for it.
Oh yeah. Let's see. We talked about the Flint Hills Metal Fest and
Yep.
obviously Kansas City. Where are some places you guys are wanting to play in the upcoming future?
I know we want to play coast to coast, if that's even a possibility.
Well, I think that's everybody's dream in a band. They're
Yeah,
not like, oh, I just want to play the Kansas City area and I'll call it good. Like I'm.
I know we want to play Colorado again. We actually have a gig in Alabama coming up. Technically a month, if you want to count it, because it's about to be February, but it's happening in March, so maybe a month and a half.
Depending on where in the month it falls.
Yeah, I'd say month and a half, or maybe a month and a half and a quarter, because it's March 16th.
Eh,
About a month and a
yeah,
half, about.
month and a half. Fuck it. That sounds
Yeah,
about right. Trying to
and then
we're trying to judge months by how many days it is.
I know we want to do Arkansas again, because when we hit Arkansas, because we played Eureka Springs, so we were going to take the original route, but a cop stopped us like, hey, you can't go this way. Something happened, so we had to turn around, take another route, which benefited our favor because we passed. I don't know. It was a big ass lake. Let me just say that it was big, um, and it was such a beautiful drive. I remember just gazing upon the lake, and I'm like, wow. But the bad part about it is we're on a mountain, and there's no guardrail. And I look over the side, and it's just like a sheer drop. I look at Doug, and I'm like, you better not drive off the cliff. You better be careful, dude. I am not dying because of Arkansas.
This is not how I want to go out.
This is not how I want to go out.
Yeah, that's the funny thing that people always sit there and assume within a band, like, oh, it's such a luxury thing. It's like, no, it's only luxurious if you're in a like a huge act. But even then,
Yeah,
it's the amount of time that's spent on the road and
I will tell a funny story that because we have a joke in the band. Well, we just go like this, and we just say, "I'm gonna kill him." This is how bad it gets on the road. So we went to Colorado. We performed great. On the way back, because Colorado is a higher sea level, so some stuff tends to happen to your body. For
oh
me,
yeah.
I didn't fart most of Colorado. On the way back, however, my body decided to depressurize itself. So on the way back, I fell asleep. Well, I fell asleep, so I didn't know I was falling the whole way back from Colorado to Missouri. And next thing you know, I wake up slightly, and all I hear from John is like, "I'm gonna kill him." And I woke up entirely, but I didn't turn around. I was like, "He won't kill me. I'll be fine." And I start falling again. And next thing you know, I turn over, and Doug's I see Doug, and he's like this over the driver's seat. Meanwhile, John has the wheel. And I look at Doug. I'm like, "What you doing there, buddy?" He's like, "I'm gonna kill you. It's what I'm gonna do if you don't stop farting." And we just have a joke in the band to where every time I do something stupid, they just go like this: "I'm gonna kill him."
Yeah, we one time were traveling through like, I think we did a show. It was either going to Oklahoma or Colorado, but we're in like western Kansas, and there's this Jesus statue in the back of a truck, and it's like, give me the camera. Like, I'm getting my camera out and I'm taking a picture of it. And it's like, no one's gonna believe that we found Jesus in western Kansas. Well, they might believe it, but we've got proof that we actually found Jesus in western Kansas.
But
It didn't help the band. It didn't save the band
yeah.
or anything, but we just wanted to let people know we found him.
But yeah, life is not luxurious on the road as when you're starting out as a band. If you get bigger, then maybe it'll get more luxurious. But right now, our most means of travel is John's car, and he has this. I don't know what is a Kia Sorento, maybe. I don't know, but it's 3 rows of seats, and if it's just the band, which has been a lot of time, it'll be John and Doug in the front seat. Doug will be driving because I don't know what he is. He's not human because he stays up every single time I'm up, and he's never sleeps while he travels. Never sleeps. He drives right to the destination. He's weird.
He's a machine.
Yeah, he runs. I don't know what he runs off of, but he doesn't sleep. The only time when he sleeps is when we get to our hotel or when we sleep in the car.
Yeah, that's another
But,
thing that people don't understand on shows like that.
yeah,
If you can't afford a hotel, you're
you sleep
sleeping
in the
in the
car.
vehicle.
Yeah, and it's granted it's nice to have a hotel, but it's not something you can have every single time.
Well, at $100 a pop now, it's kind of
No. At that point, you might as well just go to a motel.
that's like right above like Crackhead and Roach Motel is like the $100
Yeah,
one, and it's yeah, like with the amount of shows that I go to, I ended up buying a cot and I drive a minivan, so I'll take the seats out and fold the seats down. I'll put my
yeah.
cot in there. Everybody's like, "What are you
Uh,
doing?" It's like it's a lifestyle, and
you have to do this.
you're either into the lifestyle because not every time you can crash on somebody's couch, or the only ones that suck is like sleeping in the van in February. That shit
Yeah,
sucks.
I'll say. But we've come up with a plan for when we sleep in the car because John's seats fold down all the way, so you get a nice flat surface. I call dibs on sleeping on the front seats because I don't want to be waking up by somebody manhandling me. But I told John Doug, like, I'll sleep in a seat. Y'all can have the back. I don't care. Just don't touch me.
What I noticed, like if you like gas stations are probably my go-to on falling asleep in. Like I've never been messed with yet. Luckily, hang on, let me.
Yeah.
I I
That's
gotta.
the key word.
But like at the same point in time, most people are just coming and going. You just kind of park off where all the vehicles are, and as long
Yeah,
as you go in there and kind of like, hey, we're traveling, or I just did this. Do you care if I sleep in the parking lot? I haven't had a single place. It's like, no, you can't.
yeah. And that's another thing people don't realize is when you're traveling on the road, gas station food is the only food you can probably buy
At
while
least
traveling.
at least since COVID hit,
Yeah.
like before
Now you
COVID,
got
you could
McDonald's back open, but McDonald's is charging 80 cents for a piece of cheese.
yeah.
So I'm
I've
like, I'll test my luck at a gas station. I don't care. I'm not paying 80 cents for a piece of cheese.
but like the hot dogs at the gas station, they may have been there for 4 hours,
But they're
but
still good.
they're $2 a piece and they're cheaper than the
And all of that, you can top them with everything. If you get to a quick trip, you can top them like onions, mustard,
Oh yeah. Or
fancy it up.
some of those truck stops are always a good one because they've got all
Yeah.
kinds of different things.
I remember every time we go to Emporia, I think it's Emporia, there's a gas station we come by, but it's in the middle of the highway. So the highway comes out like this.
Oh
And then,
yeah. I know which one where it's got that Hardee's and everything at it.
Yeah, and it's the McDonald's behind it. And every time we go there, we always stop there because they always have like some good, decent food. Not good, but decent.
Yeah, I know which one that is. That one's been there for ever.
Yeah, so ever since I've gone to Emporia, yeah, it's stayed there.
Yeah, I've like every time I go to Lincoln, I have my set meal that I get every time, and it's this sandwich and a candy bar, and that's my every time I go there. But I also feel that uh, with them letting me sleep in the parking lot, I feel that I need to buy something. So
Yeah, so like, fuck it, I'll buy a candy bar.
plus at like 2 in the morning, I'm hungry. I've been at a
Yeah,
show for
I need something. Candy bar.
yeah, that's like unfortunately now with the price of everything, it's almost cheaper to go to like Walmart and get a cooler and a picnic basket and
Yeah,
and fill up. I found seems to be a little bit cheaper.
yeah, it is. I'm not gonna lie, it is.
Might be healthier too, but we're not here
Who
for
knows?
healthy shit. But yeah, the thing that is the misconception is definitely the travel time, and it's like, oh, it's got to be so cool. Like you get to do all these things. No, we're gonna hang out with a bunch of dudes in a back room, or we're gonna hang out for 7 hours in a bar.
That's how it was when we played Wichita for the first time. We got there very early, and the venue's like, "Hey, we don't do sound check for another 2 hours." So we're like, "Okay." So we just walked around downtown for a little bit, and me and Doug found this pizza place. We're like, "Let's try this pizza place." And so we brought it back to John, and we opened it up. And Doug says he doesn't know how to explain it, but it's not like it's a pizza and stuff for pizza. What they did was they took cheese, pepperoni, then sauce, then cheese, and pepperoni again. So I don't know how to explain it, but
Kind of like a Chicago style.
kinda, but not at the same time.
Sounds interesting.
But the first time, me and Doug swear every time we go to Wichita now, that's the pizza place we always got to get because we first pulled it. The cheese pull was amazing. Then we tasted it. Oh my god, the best pizza I've ever had. Like,
That and that's always the fun thing is you get to find those weird places that are just kind of like this little hole in the wall.
yeah. For example, in Colorado, there's this diner called Glenn's. It's not a diner. It's like kind of like Pete's that open for breakfast and lunch, but not dinner.
Yeah,
But anyways, they might be open for dinner. I don't. Lord, who knows with me? I didn't bother to look at the time they opened and closed. But
they were open when
we're
you
in
went there. That's
Colorado.
the important thing.
Yeah, we went to Colorado, and I remember why I specifically ordered. They had to build your own burger, so I built my own burger. And they're like, "Do you want regular fries or sweet potato fries?" Like sweet potato fries, but can you make them extra crispy? And I'm looking at the menu. It's like, give us a sec. So I looked at all the members, and we bought what's called a breakfast shot, which was maple whiskey chased down with orange juice. And then you had this piece of bacon that was in the whiskey that you would eat right after the orange juice.
Ooh, ooh, that sounds good.
Oh, it was. It was worth the $4.
Like what you tried? I don't know. It sounded good. It had bacon. I mean, whiskey and bacon.
Yeah,
It's
but
it's about as American as you can get.
me and Doug swear by Glenn's that they have the best burger ever. The best. It had the perfect char, the perfect seasoning, but it was still so juicy to where it wasn't completely dried out.
Oh, okay, yeah. Huh.
Granted, I had egg on mine, but I couldn't really, get the juiciness of the burger. But Doug can vouch for me. He didn't have egg on his.
But yeah, those are always the fun things, especially or like just walking around and the different things you'll see.
Yeah,
'Cause I found all kinds of cool places, like obviously with the Funko Pops and all the nerd stuff in the background. I'll
yeah,
find depending on where I'm at, I will look to find nerd stores and I'll go see what they got. And
yeah.
some of the towns have some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, Wichita, when you come in, you have a steam locomotive on the bridge. downtown. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Come to find out, that bridge also has other trains on it, and it's like a train museum. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm still like, oh, that's sick. I need to go there because nobody knows this about me. I have autism, and trains are like my second best thing I like to do.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is. It's funny because I can't stand the loud noises of the horns, but yeah, I still watch them.
I like seeing
Like,
the graffiti on them.
oh yeah, the graffiti is all really cool on them. To me, it's just being able to sit by the train tracks and just the big. I don't know what is big engines. I love the rumble of the big engines, but all that when they pass, the ground kind of shakes.
Oh
You
yeah.
just it's calming for me. I don't know how to explain it.
Why? I got one for you being a train guy. I was doing some magnet fishing under a bridge one time and it had tracks on it and everything. That was the weirdest thing because I'm under there and all of a sudden I hear zzz, and I'm looking around trying to figure out what this buzz is. Here comes a train overhead. So I'm underneath the train tracks looking up, just going, this is kind of cool.
This is new, but sweet.
I haven't experienced this one. Now hanging out underneath train tracks on a bridge, it's got a whole different vibe and feel, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I've never been that close to train tracks where you can hear them powering up for it. So
Yeah.
that was another interesting thing.
Oh
But if you
yeah.
get a chance, yeah, hang out underneath a bridge sometime when a train goes over. It's a cool experience.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
It's better than hanging out on the train tracks when the train's coming.
When the train's coming, yeah, it's a lot better.
Well, then you don't get arrested for all the things that go along with that.
No, but you get to go home in a nice little bag
Well, there is that.
if you don't get out of the way in time. I mean,
Well, I mean, depending on your level of depression.
who knows? Maybe you don't even get to go home in a bag. Maybe they can't find you.
I mean, but like, speaking of trains, I never understood why people sit there and they'll see the train coming and they try to sneak their car around the tracks. Like, haven't you watched enough movies?
I haven't even watched enough videos online to guess by now what's going to happen.
It's kind of like when you see the truck while driving that's got like the logs on it or stuff, and you're just going,
Yeah.
"Oh, I've seen this movie. This is how
I
I."
could probably get out from behind the truck. Like the logging trucks, I will not ever go behind a logging truck as a final destination. Ever.
Exactly. I think everybody from a certain generation that's seen that movie's like, "Nope.
Nope, I'm good.
Why are you in the passing lane?"
Points towards logging truck. That's why.
Oh, you've seen the movie too. Uh
Yeah, we've all seen the movie.
huh. At least the first like couple. After that, they
Yeah.
just started getting a little.
Iffy.
Oh, this is how this person dies. How do you know? Because this is the dumbest fucking way possible, and this has got to make sense on it.
See, I don't remember which one it was. It was one of the newer ones, but it made me terrified of escalators for so long because they had a scene where the stairs broke on the escalator and this girl just gets chopped up
Oh
by the escalator
yeah,
grill.
that was creative and nasty at the same time. Where you're just like,
Yeah,
ugh.
see, like it made me terrified of escalators. Anytime there's escalators, I look at it as like, I'm taking the stairs. See ya.
We don't have stairs. Well, then break the
Up and
escalator,
down
then
the
you'll have stairs. That's always something funny too. Like escalator's broken. Oh darn, we have stairs. Shit.
Shit, you got me fucked up. Now I can't go upstairs. Here, let me just walk up the escalator.
But it's not moving. Yeah, like every
It's
other
just
staircase.
It's just stairs that move.
Sorry for your inconvenience. You're gonna have to walk up it. Well, I have a stroller. Kid staying down here then. I don't know what to tell you.
Don't know what to tell you.
You want to go to Hot Topic on the second floor? Leave your kid down here. He'll be all right.
He'll be all right. Somebody will eventually grab him. He'll be fine.
Yeah, maybe. But anymore, like you don't want to do that because you might piss somebody off.
Yeah, you have the new generation like, excuse me, you left your kid here. I'm literally going to the bathroom. He can't go with me.
Yeah. Why'd you leave him? I didn't leave him. I merely turned around.
I literally turned around. I'm like 2 inches away from him. What do you mean?
But then if you look to you got to look to see if they got their cell phones out. If they got their cell phones out, then you got to sit there and kind of, yeah, great.
Should I pull them out? Should I not?
Am I going to jail today or not?
Let's find out.
Well, hang on. How long until the gig? 45 minutes. God damn it. I can't go to jail today. All right.
I'll have to wait till another time.
But depending on, as long as like they're yelling at you and you're yelling your band name, I mean, it might work out as self promotion.
Yeah. But, and that's the thing people don't realize about me. I am very blunt and honest, and I do not like the new generation because I don't know what generation I am. I'm 22, so I'm turning 23 this year. I don't know what generation that'd make me, but the new generation's just got, it's a bunch of whiny babies.
There's some good.
There's some good ones.
Yes,
well, I've
got a daughter who turns 21 this year, so I know which generation you're talking about. Like, there's some that are amazing people and hardworking, but then there's a lot of them that just feel like they're entitled to stuff.
Yeah, like there was one time I dealt with somebody who's like, "Hey, can I have your drum set? Me, how much you want to pay?" "Oh no, I just want it. Me." I did the drum set. "Excuse me?" He's like, "Yeah, I just want the drum set." I'm like, "You ain't getting it." He's like, "But I want it." I'm like, "I don't care if you want it. Offer me something."
I'll give you a hand job. No, that's not enough.
I'm like, ain't no way you just told me you want a drum set for a toy car.
Well, it depends. Is it like one of those like 1930s toy cars?
No, it's like the Hot Wheels ones that were still in package.
Oh yeah, those probably ain't worth the couple grand for the drum set. But yeah,
like, you just need like 900 more of those, then you can have it.
But I prefer the cash of that, not the.
Yeah, I prefer the cash instead of selling them on eBay at a time.
Yeah, but I noticed and I think that's in every generation. Like I was talking with, I don't remember who I was, but like every generation, there's always that group that always feels like they're entitled and are lazy, but there's also parts of that group that are hardworking.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it also just kind of deals with the upbringing of how you were raised.
Like, don't get me wrong, the new generation does half of it is like decent and like good, and they strive for better things. You just have the other half who gets offended by the slightest things. "You're a man. Why did you breathe me?" "Oh, sorry. Here, you want me to hang myself?"
You sneezed. I'm offended. I sneezed away from you.
At least be happy about that. You want me to sneeze on you?
Okay, I got another one coming. Where's that little fucker at? Oh, there he is. Hey, now you can be offended.
Perfectly.
Yeah, but and I've noticed, I realized that I crossed over from being the young kid in the group to being like the guy in the group to now I'm the old dude in the group because I've got kids that are starting to be at the age of the people that are in bands. Like there's a band from Colby, I think it's like the Colby, Kansas area out in there called Esper Winds. And I was joking with them one day and she posted something about prom was okay, I guess. And I'm like, what do you mean prom was okay? And I'm looking, she's born 6 months after my daughter. And I'm just like, oh crap. So the next time I'm friends with all of them and they're a great band. I love watching them. But like I saw them next time and I walk up, I was like, thanks for making me the old guy now. And they go, okay, why? I was like, you are younger than my daughter. You have a kid our age? Yes. I was like, I am now that. I go, now I've transitioned into that area of my life. But there's also like the new up and coming generation. I notice like my generation tries to do the whole gatekeeping thing, which I think is so fucking stupid. I do feel there is one thing, like, I do feel that if you're wearing a band t-shirt, you should at least know the artist.
Yeah.
That's my only gatekeeping on it. But, like, people that are like, you can't wear that Nirvana shirt, you weren't around then. It's like, You were like 6 then. You didn't even know what MTV was. You weren't allowed to watch it
You probably had like Elmo. That's all you had.
yet. But like, I think in a gatekeeping sense, it's important to go, oh, you like these bands. Here's a list of bands you should check out. Not like
Yeah,
so much gatekeeping, but more like, uh,
informing.
yeah, where it's like, ooh, you seen that band? No. What's your favorite song? Track 3 off of this album. Okay, I can go with that one because I don't know
Yeah,
half the song names anyways either. It's like on CDs and stuff.
yeah.
But like it's always interesting when you listen to people like, oh, they can't wear that. Like, mm,
I
I
mean, I believe anybody can wear what they want to wear, but if you're gonna wear a band shirt, at least know the artist.
yeah, like
Like I'm not gonna be that person like name 3 songs that on this album and also a deep cut.
uh dude, I've seen them live 7 times. I can't name you 3 songs. Like
I can't name you 3 songs. I could just name you the times I saw them.
I saw them here with this band. I saw them here with this band. I saw them here with this band. And I met them at this venue when they were doing a show with these bands. Does,
That's not songs.
does
Well,
that count? Does that
I hate to
count?
say
It
it.
confuses the shit out of people, though.
Yeah. Like I was gatekeeper once, but I wasn't in person, it was online. I posted how much I love like Joey Jordison, I think, but it was on my old account. I can't even get back into it, which sucks. But they posted like name 3 Slipknot songs that aren't main hits and deep cuts, and I did. It's like, well, you probably just look those up. Me, what? Yeah, here, let me just look up all of the albums and memorize all the deep cuts.
Let me name 3 songs that aren't a hit. Besides, uh, they've only had like a couple radio friendly songs.
Yeah. I'm saying like, here, let me try this, and I named like most of the songs off the first album, and they're
Name
like,
us,
that
name
doesn't
us.
count. Me, what do you mean it doesn't count? I named most of them.
That's when you grab the albums and take pictures with them. Like, look, I own this fuckhead.
I own the album. That's not enough food. What do you mean it's not enough?
Here's a picture of me with Corey Taylor and Joey and Mick, and here's
That's probably photoshopped. They tried their hardest to make you fail. I'm saying like,
he's got his Corey's got his finger in my nose. How is that Photoshop?
exactly. Do you want me? What do you want me to do? You want me to
I,
post? Do you want me to Photoshop him naked next? What do you want me to do?
I mean, if you can.
Yeah, that's it. If you can, man.
Now I'm offended because you're posting nudity online.
And it's like, I can't win with you people.
Yeah, the internet is such a tricky, fickle, fucked up place because you'll
Yeah.
post something like I made a comment about the phrase break a leg. Like nothing says good luck like go get a compound fractured. And people are like, one person explained what the thing meant, and it's like, hey, I really appreciate that. Like, I knew some of this, but I really appreciate the in-depth detail. One person's
Yeah.
like, it's a quick video, and you're just being this, and there's no thought. It's like it's my take on a phrase that I think is funny. And it was something about being stupid. It's like, first, don't question my intelligence because I made something goofy. I'm trying to be lighthearted. There's enough negativity on the internet as is.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to lighten the mood and be funny and, maybe bring a smile to your face, and you're being a giant douchebag.
Exactly.
Like some of those people, it's like, have you ever left the house? Do you know what it's like out there? Or,
Yeah, have you ever touched grass?
yes, once, and it scared me.
He just wants to scare me. That's why I'm an internet warrior. Me, no wonder why.
You've never gotten laid in your life. Got it.
No, I have a waifu body pillow. That doesn't count.
I saw
Me,
one.
an actual woman.
I saw one. This person said that him and his wife had been happily married for 12 years. They said the name was like his wife was his imaginary friend. I'm just like, not sure how to take this one. Like, I think I
How
watched
did
the
the
video,
court
like,
even approve of your marriage?
it's weird. I try not to understand the internet. It
Me too.
makes no fucking sense.
You just find the weirdest things on the internet. And you're just like, how does get past government testing?
You should have been swallowed. That's all I have to say. You are not worthy.
You should have been swallowed.
Should have been swallowed or put in a sock. That's all I've got.
or in a condom, but that probably would have failed too. And now look at you, you still failed it.
But yeah, it's and like in a band as aspect, like you'll post stuff about your shows and 3 likes or 2 likes, but then you post a meme about farting. 1.5 thousand people have done a emoji on it, and you've got
Yeah.
12,000 comments and 4,000 shares. Like,
Yeah. He's like, what was this when we posted about our album?
I gave you a thumbs up and likes and thoughts and prayers.
Oh yeah, totally.
We got a new
We
album
talked
out.
about Godplay, and you said thoughts and prayers.
I think I'm gonna start saying that now on people when they're like, "New album coming out, thoughts and prayers."
Thoughts and prayers be with you is the blessed hands emoji.
Or the high five emoji, whichever. Somebody
Yeah.
finally said that that's the high five emoji, and it's like, no, that looks like a praying hands. But we'll probably go ahead and wrap this up
Yep.
because I gotta start getting ready to go get one of the kids from work here soon and do grocery shopping.
Yep, I gotta sleep because I might have work tomorrow. I don't know yet. They haven't called, so
I don't have work tomorrow. I've got shoot more videos and edit and all that fun stuff.
yep.
And doing the adult weekend thing, which so much fun.
Yep. Getting to sleep in by 2 more hours.
Oh, by sleep in means I'm up at 8 o'clock versus
For me, it's I get up at usually I used to get up at like 5:30 in the morning because I'd like to make myself breakfast, and all of that I had to go to work at like 8. And if I got to sleep in, I'd sleep in till 8. I'd
well,
wake up and I'd try to go back to sleep. It's like, God damn it, now I'm up, so I get up.
there's for a while there we were going into work. We were pulling ridiculous hours and we were being at work at 4 in the morning. I live 30 minutes from my job. So my alarms are going off at like 2:30 in the morning or 2:40 in the morning. I'm at work and you can tell by the like midweek, all of us are in the same mode. We show up and it's like, sup? We wouldn't get anything done for about the first hour. And they're like, well, why not? Dude, coffee hasn't kicked in yet.
Yeah.
But I will go ahead and let you go. This has been a fun Q&A. I will get this all
Yep.
edited and get this posted and get you tagged in it and all that fun stuff.
Sounds
So
good.
I appreciate the time.
Appreciate you interviewing.
No problem. Anytime.
Yep.
All right. You have a good one.
You too.
All right. Later.
Later.